Okay, what's up? We got Junior Castro here.
Yep.
I'm a fan, big fan. I've been following Junior for a few years. I seen him over at Oakley Fight Club. Back when I was boxing over there, he came through. He had some pretty girls with him. I was a big fan of that. You know, I like hanging out with pretty girls as well. I see him. He's a good fighter. He's one of the best guys there. And I was watching him spar, and I was like, damn, this guy moves well. So I've been following him around the gym. I've been following him through Chicago a little bit. Him and myself included, jumping gyms, and I come back across him. And now I've built a relationship with him. He came to my last fights, and I just want to hear a little bit about him. And I'm going to ask him some questions here about where he come from and how he came up and on the fight grind. So, Junior, if you want to tell us how you started and why you like boxing, and maybe it releases some stress, but go at it.
Yeah. So, I guess I started boxing kind of late in the game, right? And late for me is like I was a senior in high school. I've always been into like wrestling and kind of like contact sports, really, but I was always too like short for basketball, right, and too small for football. My friends would play baseball and soccer. I've been playing since they were like little.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really I couldn't really compete with them. So then like, what's the sport I can do that's in the like, I guess, like equal, right? And this is boxing and wrestling. It's like it goes by weight class. So like there's not a huge discrepancy in weight or size difference, right? So after then I started boxing after playing this video game, Fight Night video game. And keep in mind, keep in mind, I went to, it's called Prize Luis. It's like a predominantly black high school, and I was like, look at me,
Where's it at?
It's in Maywood.
Maywood?
Yeah, that's where I'm from. So
okay.
So then I'm really light skinned, green eyes. I was the only person in the
entire
entire school.
Hispanic?
Yeah, I'm Hispanic though, but people sometimes get confused, right? So
that's
then
funny. I cut you off. Before we get
good.
too far away, is your story how you started? I was the same way. I was like 10th, 11th grade.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to compete in football or basketball. I didn't have the build for it, nor really the interest.
Right.
I wasn't really interested in it, but I did have an interest in being something. The football jocks are running around and putting them on TV. I'm like,
exactly.
That's something I could be good at.
Right.
And then my buddy Ryan Stoner, he's like, hey man, I'm going to boxing practice after this. I'm like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
There we are. Same story, and I started, and I'm like, I connected with this.
Yeah, exactly.
So cool.
Yeah,
we had the
exactly.
same kind of
upbringing, in a sense, right?
So then
I was a freshman. I was in wrestling, and
so
then
you wrestled too.
Yeah, I wrestled like freshman and sophomore year. Then I quit. And then junior year, I started playing that Fight Night game, and I remember like towards the end of my junior year. I think I was like ranked 30th in the world, right, in this Fight Night game. Right? Yeah. So I was actually really good.
So you were already like in the vision of pro on the game.
Yeah. So I was good, and I remember I was fighting the number 2 ranked guy in the world, right? And obviously he beat my ass. And
in this Fight Night
in this Fight Night game.
What system is it for?
It was for like Xbox 360.
It
was a while ago. But this guy is talking shit on the mic, right? He was like, "Yeah, fuck you, kid. Your balls haven't even dropped. You're still like a little kid, this and that." And we were going back and forth, and after he beat me, he's like, hey, man, I was just fucking with you, it's just the banter. I'm like, yeah, I get that. So he's like, kid, how old are you? I'm like 16, I was 17, I think, at the time. Yeah. I'm 17. He's like, how come you do this in real life? I was like, damn, I never thought about it that way,
Really?
Something, yeah, and it's funny, I have some friends who box, I'm gonna ask them to go with them. Next week, I go in this gym, see these guys sparring, right? Tall black dude sparring. I want to get in with them. Like, are you sure? Like, yeah, I'll get in with him. Get in there, beats my ass, he beats my ass, I'm bleeding all over the place, and I quit boxing. It was a one and done thing. I'm like, I don't want to go back. And then I ended up going back a couple weeks later, and I got good, and I stuck to it. I was there every single day, and the dude came back like 6-7 months later, and I'm just like beating his ass, and that was like the best feeling in the world.
In the game?
No, in real life.
The game?
No. After I joined the boxing gym, I quit the game altogether. But I beat that dude's ass who beat my ass the first time, so it's like a comeback story, right? So after that, I always came back, and I remember I had my first fight against this kid. He was like, I was like 17, 18. This kid was probably like 25, had like a kid already. I'm like, Jesus, right?
Yeah,
and then it was my first fight. This kid had like 2 fights, and I'm like, whatever, that's not it's not gonna scare me. So I get in there, he beats me by like split decision, and I thought I won. First fight ever, I was mad. Get the rematch a month later, beat his ass, I win unanimously, right? I get to meet Jesse The Secretary of State, Jesse.
Jesse White.
Yeah, Jesse White.
Yeah.
I get to meet him in
him
person. He was at the event, right?
Expressway.
Yeah.
He owns the road, I think.
Yeah, he was at the fight, so it was like a great experience.
So he's seeing you fight.
Yeah. And
This is what you're an
it was-
amateur.
yeah, and it
But
was-
one of your first ones. So you have a.
So it was my
you
second.
had a lot of success in the beginning of your career of win.
Yeah. So after I guess my first fight ever was a loss. I avenged it right away. My second win was against the same guy, and I won unanimously.
So you had so you lost your first one, but
Yeah.
then since you beat him again, you kind of got your redemption, and then you kind of went back at it because
Exactly.
losing your first fight is kind of. I didn't lose my first fight. I won, and
Nice.
that was like a extreme boost for
Yeah,
me.
exactly,
Where I'm like,
exactly.
I got something. If you lose your first fight,
Yeah,
at least it's like-
I was depressed and I was mad. I don't want to. I quit boxing again. You know,
Yeah.
I think I stopped boxing for like a month, and I was like bored at home. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll do it again. Came back consistently for another couple months, and then I came back, rematched that guy, beat him, and then I think further down the line, probably 4 fights later, I fought him again and beat him again. So I got the.
I never fought the same guy twice.
I thought. I mean, especially if they beat me before, I definitely want to get a chance to beat them. And usually, I think every person I fought, I think besides this one guy I lost against, I redeem myself.
That's an interesting
So,
thing that you have. I don't
Yeah.
have that take where I'm just like, oh, he beat me. Fuck him, I'm out of here.
No. No, definitely have to get the best of it, man. I can't let someone have a win over me like that and not try to beat him again. You
That's
know?
some hunger. Maybe that you try to think about yourself. You ever like, man, where do I get this drive from? Like, why do
Exactly.
I get up and put this shit on and go get punched in the face? Because I'll be honest with you, in my later days in boxing, like I have a lot of gym time, and I don't like to get punched much in the face anymore. And of course, everyone says that, but. Now I got a lot of shit going on, and these headaches are for real these days, dude. And I come out of the gym with a swollen up nose and a puffy eye and a headache, and I'm just like, nah, I got shit to do tomorrow.
Exactly.
And
Yeah. And for me, man, you know, like my friends say, I'm a full-time accountant, right? I don't need to be doing this shit, right? But I want to. That's a thing.
You're
it's a
24?
difference. Yeah, 24.
You're still young.
Yeah.
You're still young in the boxing career. You know, like you're young. I mean, you get the pros are in their 30s when they prime out.
Exactly.
They're maybe prime to what? Maybe 36. Mayweather pulled it off to almost 40.
I mean, like Bud Crawford and all those guys, they're like on 33, going on 34 probably. They're a little
It's
bit
impressive, but I mean, I think a lot of athletes are going later. I'm not a football fan, but I know like Tom Brady, he's big shout out.
Yeah, he's like going on 40, right?
Retirement, and you got retirement. Like, man,
that's the move. You know what? We're just gonna retire and come back for a new hike.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
And I'm like, come on, man. Like, why
But see, he did it like twice already, so it's not really.
It's insecurity or some shit, or it's like, dude,
he's
you hate
bored at
seeing it.
home.
Oh, you hate your wife now? Oh, you're not happily married no more because you are home and you're dealing with it. And I think that's got some shit to play with.
Yeah.
Anyways, not to get off topic.
But yeah,
back
man.
to boxing. Let's get back to. That's how you started.
Yep.
Where you want to be.
Yep.
And then where you're going, which is your next fight. We'll talk about that. So, like, what do you see yourself coming out of this next fight? What do you, of course, you hope for the W.
Yeah.
But you got to have a next move after that.
Yeah,
where you're like,
for sure.
If I win, this is
100%.
about
Yeah, and I see a lot of like boxers in Chicago, a lot of professional boxers in Chicago, kind of like, you know, they have like they're like what 8, 9, 10 and 0, right? And all the fights are in Chicago, right, or in Hammond, or in
this area. I know there's like 15, 20 gyms. I could go down and list the names.
Yeah.
The fighters are coming out of one of those.
Exactly. And then my goal is, you know, I want to have 1, 2, maybe 3 fights around this area in Chicago, and then that's a cap. From there, I want to start going, you know, to places. I have connections in, you know, Miami, connections in California, Mexico. You know, I want to have fights everywhere. That way, yeah. I mean, it's still fun, you know, and obviously you're not gonna be at your home crowd, you know, but at the same time, that's how people are gonna progress.
We were talking about that, me and you, about how our crowd could come with us online.
Oh, exactly.
And the streaming back while we're here,
right?
We're streaming. It's funny you mentioned Miami because there's a gym I told you about, the box at Docs R, and oh my dude, the talent in there. I don't know if you looked it up yet, but when you said Miami, no one else is on like let's travel around and fight. I'm on that level.
Yeah, 100%.
You're on that level.
But
these promoters around Chicago, they want to keep you in Chicago.
They want to keep the money here, and I understand that to a certain point.
That's
right?
that you're capping the fighter.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's like at this point in time, it's like these promoters, right? They want the fighter to stay in Chicago because they make more money, right? They sell tickets for the hometown advantage and all that stuff. But the thing is, like, you're capping the fighter. The fighter's not gonna progress. He's not gonna get like that national recognition, right? So let's say, boom, I fight in Miami one time, I fight in Texas and California, and in Iowa, who knows, right? They're gonna be like, oh, that Junior Castro guy, I've heard of that guy, right? As opposed to the guy who's like, you
I'm
know,
on your level.
yeah, 10-0 here in Chicago, like, oh, I've never heard of this
It's
guy.
not big
You know what I'm
enough.
saying?
It's not big enough.
That's what I'm saying.
but
That's what I'm saying.
Everyone's online.
I'm following people, yourself included,
Yeah.
all these girls on my Instagram. Not one of them from Chicago. They're on beaches. I've seen that it's kind of a smaller circle once you get to know the big circle.
Exactly.
And I like everybody. You know, my angle is not so much promotion as more as content production and
Good.
maybe providing a network to host boxers with my event studio. So I'm still finding my angle. So
Yeah.
I've been working with promoters, and I just did that last fight, which we had you were
Yeah.
here watching.
Yeah.
Put that fight on, and I learned a lot from the streaming, how much publicity that got.
Yeah.
Everyone was taking pictures at home on their couch of their, their family member fighting
Exactly.
at this fight.
And it was fun, man. And it was a fun
Fun.
event too. And then,
fun event. And it was- you were here, yeah.
It's fun and it was different. You know, I haven't heard of an amateur show in Chicago nor anywhere else that had it streamed. You know,
Yeah.
and that brings in a lot of more people. You know, let's say people don't want to travel. It was cold. It was cold that day too.
It
You know,
was
people don't
cold.
want to leave the house. You know, and
Yeah,
then
it
like
was wet and
if I can-
snowy.
exactly. And if it's a Saturday, Friday night, I'm bored at home. You know, if I'm a regular person, I'm like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna stream this fight. You know, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks.
Well, it was $10 too.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Those amateur
10 bucks.
fights. I want everyone to be able to afford it and
Yeah.
try it out because they didn't trust the platform.
Exactly.
And then there wasn't one complaint. Everyone enjoyed the fight. The whole thread was going on. People were talking.
Nice.
Huge success on that, and we're
It's
going to
fun.
do another one. And,
100%.
I think we're going to go on the pro debut
Nice.
style. And,
Yep,
and
yep.
get in a pro fight and
That'll be fun.
make sure you're on the card.
Yeah,
for us
yeah.
after,
So I guess just to transition on to and I guess finish up here just on my pro fight, right? So it'll be my professional debut, April 2nd, right? So it's been a long time coming, man. 9 years now.
Yeah, I seen the article. You did a write up on your pro debut. Let me tell us how you got that fight. Like, tell us your last amateur fight, and you said, "All right, we're going pro after this." I want to know your mindset when you decided you were going pro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had this mindset since 2020, right? But COVID happened and then just shut everything down, you know. And that's when I originally wanted to go pro, 2020. And then COVID happened, so kind of postponed everything. Things started opening back up 2021, and that's when I had some more fights and
Were you training hard with COVID?
oh, 100%. I mean,
What gyms would
you
you
know,
go
not
to,
I mean, all the gyms were closed, you know. so
Yeah.
Who are you fighting under right now? Like, let's go back. We didn't even talk about. Are you fighting under anyone? Or what
yeah.
gym you
So
from?
my coach, he just opened his new gym. His name is David Ortiz, and he just opened his new gym called the Barracks, right?
I
So,
follow the Barracks.
Yeah.
I follow the
So
Barracks.
I've been there. I've been there for the past, I guess, like since it opened up in November. But I've been with him for the past 3 years, you know. And I remember when he first took me on, I had the fight before I went with him. I think 2 fights before that, I had lost against this kid.
a different kid.
Yeah, different kid. I lost unanimously, and it was bad. This kid was real good. I think he had won the gloves or something. He was good. And then first fight back, David's like, all right, we're gonna fight that kid again. I was like,
And you went those rematches,
I'm like,
dude. You
see,
went
that one I did not want. 'Cause I'm like, this kid, he's just like a typical Mexican fighter. Does not get tired. You know, he just keeps coming forward, pressure.
Yeah, no,
And
I'm not
I don't
gonna
want to
get-
gas out. And I'm like, and last fight when he beat me, and I told David, I don't know if I'm gonna take that fight. He's not, we're taking it. And I'm like, man. So we trained, I believe, for like 6 months together, right? Where he's adjusting to my style, I'm adjusting to his little like tweaks in my boxing style.
So you listen to his coaching.
Yeah, 100%.
To change to this fighter because he's like, I can get you to beat this guy.
Exactly.
That's really powerful.
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I trust in you, and obviously you trust in me.
Obviously.
You say I can beat him,
You
so.
lost and he still believed in you.
Yeah, exactly.
To run again.
Right. So then fight night comes, right, and I ended up beating this kid unanimously, right? And it was the best feeling in the world because I beat him.
Because you already lost.
Convincing,
Yeah,
exactly.
And you didn't even didn't believe in yourself.
Exactly. And that's what it was. Sometimes you just, lack the belief in yourself when the other person sees your potential,
Your
like
coach.
you can do it. Right, my coach.
And that's why he's your coach.
Exactly, and I
that's
won
why-
that fight, and then after that, I think he's like, you know what, enough of these like local shows, because these are all like, you might lose a close decision just based off politics, right?
sure.
If the kid is more well known, if it's a close fight, they're gonna give it to him, and I've lost my fair share of those, and I'm tired. And he's like, let's go to the national level. the USA.
And that's where you start thinking travel, national level.
Exactly,
travel.
exactly. So my coach put me on with that. So I think second fight, he's like, there's a fight in Green Bay. It's a Green Bay versus Chicago fight, right? So it's like, that rivalry with Green Bay Packers versus the Chicago Bears, right?
Okay.
So I'll take it. This kid weighed in at 135. Obviously, I fight at 125. The kid's like, can you move up a little bit? I'm like, I'll come in at 130, right? He's like, all right, cool. Kid jumps.
And you're not even trying to lose weight.
Right, I'm not. So then the kid walks in. I think he weighs in like at 135. I weigh in like at 131 or 132. So he's a little bit bigger physically, and
But
he's
he probably
tall.
walks around at 150.
Exactly, and
You
that was
walking around at
my
130.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, this guy's gonna be
Big difference,
stronger,
man.
and he's probably gonna look. He's gonna be bigger. He's gonna like be pressing forward. It was a good fight. I beat him unanimously in his hometown in Green Bay, right? In Green Bay, Wisconsin. So I was working in Miami at the time, or Orlando actually. Flew into Chicago that same day. That same day we drove like three hours to Green Bay, and I got the win. After that, we go to this USA national tournament, right, with the national qualified fighters. First time ever at one of those tournaments. It was really.
So this is a
nerve-wracking.
tournament, not a fight. This is not going on any card.
Exactly. This is actual like US. This is an Olympic qualifier. They call it, right?
Man,
It's
I always wondered about these tournaments. I've seen them on TV, on Netflix specials.
And they're the US's top elite fighters, right?
How do you get invited to that?
So I guess you can apply, right? But I mean not apply, but you can just join. You can sign up.
Yeah,
right?
I don't even know that.
Anyone can sign up, right? But it's at your own peril, right? It's the nation's best.
Yeah,
fighters.
you're not gonna go piss away your money just to say you put on
Exactly, and you have to travel, pay for the hotel, and also you're fighting, like I said, the nation's best
better be a
fighters, right?
contender. You
So
better be a contender.
I won't go if I have like 10 or 15 fights, right? Knowing that I can fight a guy with
You
300
got a
fights.
couple hundred amateur
I
fights.
have 70 fights. Yeah,
That's a lot of fights.
Yeah,
You know,
so I
have
remember.
an amateur fight. And
Yeah,
you started
yeah.
later in your career,
Exactly,
and
exactly.
you're younger yet. So I mean,
Right, and during this whole time I was in college too, so it's like
do you
it's
balance
hard
that
doing.
one?
Yeah, it was hard, but I managed to do it. But I guess just to cap on this story, I went to this national tournament my first time. Beat this guy from like I think Maryland, and it was a great fight, and I won and I advanced. I couldn't continue after that because I damaged my wrist.
Okay.
So I mean I think I made it to like the quarterfinals after that one win. But the guy that I was supposed to fight made it to the finals, so that kind of gives me points as well. It's a weird pointing system. But I mean, after that, then I'm like, at that point, I'm going pro for sure. After COVID kind of settled down, the Omicron variant kind of like held things back and all that stuff.
Could it help you, man? Gave you some infrastructure and like
It gave me a different perspective for sure.
gave you a different perspective.
More
That's
hunger.
it gave me.
That's why this fight started streaming.
Yeah.
Because no one was allowed to come watch the fight, so then I started streaming the fight. So it was a blessing in disguise and a weird angle for me, maybe for you as well.
So it looks like you were brought kind of on the national level because your new gym, the Barracks.
Yeah.
He's thinking. I was wondering why I don't see him enter into like competitions around here. I don't see him much get involved.
Yeah.
And then he's on a national level. I see him traveling a lot, and he's taking a different angle.
Exactly.
And making a private more of a. But I seen his gym. I follow him, and his gym it gets popping. It
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
popping
yeah.
with the locals.
Yep.
But he is taking a private gym and taking on like a what do they call a stable of good fighters.
Exactly.
you're in
And
there.
like his son right now is ranked number 4 in the
I
nation.
follow his son as well.
Right,
I seen him
right,
when
right.
that's where I met you. You were sparring
Yeah,
his son.
and
They
he's
brought
real
you in to
good,
spar his
and
son.
he's more focused on those like national tournaments,
And
right?
I think
Because
that's a great
in
angle.
these local fighters, yeah, they're good, but like let's say, like I said earlier, like, if it's a close fight, the kid's more well known. His father used to be a fighter, or whatever the case may be. The kid's gonna get the decision, right? The win.
Yeah.
And it sucks that it's gonna damage the other kid's like ego, even though he won the fight, he didn't get the win.
For
and
sure,
it's-
I see it happen too. But that's the politics of the sport.
Exactly. But yeah, I guess just to wrap up everything, right? April 2nd, my pro debut. It's been a long time coming. I feel good. I feel strong. I haven't felt this good in a long time. So man, I feel like I'm reaching I'm advancing towards my peak.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Hey man, well I'm all about it too, and I'm glad that you came in today and we got to chat a little bit.
Thanks for having me.
Me and you are both gonna do a sweet workout here, and then
Yes,
maybe
sir.
we'll do a post-workout chat. And,
Yeah.
We'll do some camera footage as along the way too. But
For sure.
let's get a workout in, man. I love hearing about you, and be
Let's
at
do
your
it.
fight, and I help promote you.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well,
100%.
And, I'm a sponsor.
Yeah, no, hey, thanks for being my sponsor, and thanks for being in my corner as well, man.
Yeah,
You're always there for
I'm
me,
in
you
your
know,
corner,
so-
man. I'm promoting you all the way. You're my first pro fighter
Appreciate
to
that.
really kind of grab a hold of, and I know you personally, so
Yeah, exactly.
I'm excited for your career too, man.
Yeah.
Thanks
Hey,
for
man,
coming
thanks
in.
a lot, brother. Appreciate you. Let's get it.
Good. got a good workout in.
Sir.
Man, when you guys are around, I tell you, I feed off your energy, dude.
Absolutely.
I don't get a workout when I'm not around you
I
guys.
hear you breathing hard here.
I bring it hard because you guys go hard, and like that's who I want. No one wants to be the half-ass guy, right? So
That's right.
And I got to be at your level to even work at. You know, I can work mitts on the right-handed guy like you, and I go switch to left-handed.
Yes, sir.
I look like I did not look good. You know? But I got some work on the other side of that. Like I got to get better training a left-handed southpaw.
Absolutely.
You know, someone who's a professional, not an amateur. So I'm not creating him bad habits. He was like, nah, you do it this way. We're gonna move here.
Right.
So
Helping
I
you out
learning-
too, you know.
Me too. I'm learning, but he's teaching me how to pivot.
Yes, sir.
Because I'm trying to get away with you guys. Because I'm tired. On the midst, I'm like, all right, if I cut left here, like he's gonna be like, take a chill and like rotate. He's pivoting so fast. He's already on me. I'm like, if I was fighting this dude, I'd be losing right now. 'Cause I want to run away from the mitts.
Yeah.
And every angle I turned, he was pivoting in me, and I'm like, that's the difference.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's the difference.
Yeah.
The pro is going to teach me
Exactly.
those kind of things, and I'm just happy to be working with you guys.
Thank you,
so
sir.
how did I didn't really get your name or what you're about. Give a little intro on you and why you're here and how you know.
Man, my
Castro?
name is Christian Kalunga, but everybody knows me as Dids. I met Junior in 2017.
Yeah.
But it's funny thing is, he actually went to school with my older brother, so he knows my older brothers. They know him and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So he wound up coming to the gym I started at in 2017, and we sparred and he kicked my ass.
long
First
time-
time. Yeah.
Long time ago.
I didn't even spar when I seen him. I
Yeah,
was watching from far. Like,
Yeah, and then over the time we kept on working. He's the one that introduced me to our current coach right now, David Ortiz, and I think in August of 2018, they took me out to my first out of gym sparring. Me, him, we sparred at unanimous, and there was a few other guys sparred, and then over the years, just keeping in contact with them, I showed up to the grand opening to the barracks, and a couple weeks after that, I was like, this is it. It's gonna be the new home.
I seen the grand opening of the barracks. I was following him.
Man, it was beautiful, and we've been working ever since. We just got some work yesterday, we're
Yeah,
sparring.
we just sparred like 4 or 5 rounds yesterday.
It's funny, a quick story on your coach Ortiz. When I built this facility 2 years ago, I was marking the space for a boxing gym.
Oh.
Lalo told him about the space, and it was in the area of Humboldt Park. He came in and looked at the space, and he just didn't see what I was seeing. I seen
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
and I'm not looking to be a boxer, but I'm looking to have to facilitate boxers. And we had a different vision, and I noticed that we were a little different. And I noticed he wanted his own space, like the barracks.
Yeah.
And I wanted a studio like
Right,
this.
right,
with
something
with
more private.
Yeah,
Right,
with a
right.
boxing ring in it. So it would never worked out looking
Yeah.
at it. But it's funny because we started at the same time, our visions, and he finished about the same time I started bringing in fighters.
Yeah.
He was just doing his grand opening, so it took us the same build
Yeah,
up
same time, man.
I'd like to bring him in, tell him, hey, I know he knows who I am.
Yeah.
Hey, I talked to Tyler.
Yeah.
All of his fighters are hanging out
Yeah,
here.
we can all come in here. And
Yeah,
do
we're
like a
gonna work
workout
together
session.
anyways. If he
Yeah.
wants to do national promotions, I
Yeah.
can help with that because that's my vision too.
Right.
But not take the fighters. You guys are with him on the fighters. But
Right,
I'm the
right.
promoter. I'm
Right,
the,
right.
the event promoter. So anyhow, run it by him when you guys get a chance.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
funny
Absolutely.
how all of our stories are bringing together the same person.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
In
yeah.
the
A
beginning.
few blocks away too. It's
A few blocks away.
hop and skip, stone's throw away. This is a beautiful area. I thought it was gonna be like a couple. I was surprised. Junior told me yesterday. He's like, yeah, it's like close to the gym, a couple blocks. And when I mapped it, I was like, holy shit.
It's like
you guys know it's a hood out there.
yeah.
it's only a 3-minute drive though from here to over there.
Yeah.
It's not that far, and that's what we're saying. So
The corner here though, it's not that you come up on that corner.
Yeah.
You're like,
But see, that gives it a better authentic boxing gym.
Yeah,
for
feel,
sure.
You know?
So then you walk into this place and it's like, where am I?
Yeah,
I did not
I've been
expect that.
I've been to all the boxing gyms in Illinois and Chicago, right? So I've been to the South Side, 47th.
Well,
Taylor
yeah, boxing.
Park,
That's one thing
Taylor
about
Park,
boxing is like, if you've been to Hamlin.
Yeah, everywhere, man.
Yeah,
And
that's just, like,
boxing's
dirty
a huge.
dirt stuff.
I've been, I travel a lot, as you know, right? And I've been to gyms in Miami, in California, in Texas,
Mexico,
and regardless of the area it is, you go over there, you're gonna box, you know.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what the fuck if it's
You're
a
getting
hood,
it. Yeah,
if it's a richer area,
Yeah.
where you're going to box, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
I
It's
like
all-
that,
it's all
and that's
one
what you're
thing.
going there for, and so it
Right,
doesn't matter
exactly.
the area for
Exactly,
boxers. So that's good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So I noticed your workout though. You're pretty standard on your workout. Has a way to pull him off his workout. It's like, hey man, get hitting the bag, come asking some questions. So I know you do the jump roping, you do the bag work. Do you have a routine that you stick to, or do you mix it up depending on the day and area?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can go first. So I mean, my thing's pretty traditional, right? Every single day, the same thing, repetition, right?
That's a good thing. Is that a good thing in boxing?
I mean, obviously you have days like strength and conditioning days and stuff like that. But for the majority for the boxing training, it's typically when I'm not with coach, he does power with us and stuff like that. When I'm not doing pad work, I usually every day I jump rope 15 minutes, 15 nonstop minutes. Then I shuttle box for 4 rounds with the weights. I usually do like 3 rounds with the weights and 1 without. Practice my southpaw stance, and then I hit the bag for about 8 rounds in straight in a row, and then I take a round break and then 4 more to do a total of 12 rounds.
So right now you're almost at 20 rounds if you're counting
yeah.
rounds on everything.
Exactly, right. And then after the bag, I hang out for like a round or 2, and then I hit the speed bag for about 2 rounds nonstop, and do sit-ups and pull-ups, and that's my traditional workout every single day. I get in a stretch in there. So some point in between the workouts, stretching's important. So
What's your favorite workout?
Oh man,
What's
honestly,
your favorite? You're like, oh man, that's over with. I'm here.
honestly, man, I love the jump rope. I'm a huge jump rope fan. When I first started, I sucked at it, but now I can do a bunch of tricks and shit. I can do like double one, crisscross. I can do the 360, all that fancy shit. And
Makes you happy to do it.
Yeah, and that's why I love jump roping. And also the speed bags. It's fun hearing that rhythm.
Me too. I love the speed bag when you're good at it.
Right, exactly. When you're good at it. When I first started, man, I would do like a minute. I'm like, fuck this, I'm done. I can't get the rhythm. I'm done. But
there's always people in the gym watch it too. It's rarely you get to practice with no one around.
Exactly.
So it's like you got to go through the humility.
Exactly. Everyone's like looking at
quit
you.
doing that. I'm trying to train in class, and you're over there. Someone's trying to use a training class too.
Yeah.
It's like, is that dude pissed? What's a boxing gym?
Yeah.
That's what I think all the time, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, what do you?
How about
do
you,
for-
brother? What about you? What's your routine?
Man, we start off same thing, get in the gym, stretch, and we warm up with the jump rope, 4 rounds, just like him. It's about 15 minutes of constant jump roping. After that, start shadow boxing just to warm up some more with weights. Sometimes, most of the time without them, but I recently started doing it with the 2-pound weights. Feels great after.
It helps a lot. So the weights, you guys both talk about the weights. I don't do it with the weights.
You gotta try it. You'll see how your hands go after.
I'm picking up from you guys.
Yeah.
Like everything
I
we're
think
doing.
it helps. I think it
Shadow
helps.
box with the weights, and then go hit the speed bag after. Your hands gonna
Your
be
arms
flying.
are like, I always
Yeah.
tell people that the
No,
speed
no.
bag. A lot of people at the speed bag, they'll hit it and they'll drop their hand
Yeah.
almost to the ground. I'm like, you ain't ever gonna get up there fast enough.
Yeah,
You gotta,
exactly.
It's gotta stay there. You can't
That's right.
do this.
Your shoulders gotta be up here. You
yeah.
can't.
People drop their hand.
Yeah.
You never time. You're like lifting every time. That's
Exactly.
Absolutely.
my biggest 101 thing that people do all the time. Keep your hands up.
Yeah.
Helps in the speed bag.
But yeah.
So cool. You guys got a good workout in. You got the same. You got basically a routine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it goes about 20 rounds. You guys are looking at. So if you
Yeah.
want to become a professional fighter, better be looking at 20 rounds.
Daily. Right?
And you better be in here on your spare time in a quiet, dead gym, traveling, spending his time in logistics. These guys are to come to gyms all day. That's what they're doing with their time. And I'm just
Absolutely.
thankful that you guys can come and I can get to feed off some professional athletes' energy while I do my workout because it's giving me a good high. So I like to keep this going. I enjoy you guys coming around.
Of course,
Um,
man.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
the
Being a nice
hospitality.
event.
Your pro debut is when, or do you have a day yet?
Nothing yet, but it's gonna be
coming.
soon. It's gonna be after his.
It's gonna
right
be
after
yeah,
his.
one fighter at a time. You guys are gonna go
Yeah,
launch
yeah.
out. Yeah,
Absolutely.
cool. So
Exactly.
let's give a shout out to Barracks Gym.
Absolutely.
sir.
Coach Ortiz. I know him. I see him around. I see him online. He's a mean mugger. He's got that serious face on. But he trains some really good athletes, and I'm thankful for his athletes to come and hang out at my facility and train with me. So you're gonna see us around. I'll see you guys around.
Yes, sir. Hey,
Absolutely,
thanks
sir.
a lot, man.
Thank you, brother.
April 2nd, guys. Let's get it.
April
Let's
2nd.
go.
April
Let's get
2nd.
it.